Hello there. Welcome back to another Bannerlord video. So this is episode 4 and I'm finally getting into a big battle where I'm outnumbered. And I've decided to assault their siege camp out in the open to see how it goes. Normally I'd break in, but what I've noticed is sometimes they just play the waiting game and waste my days. So I've really lucked out here. As you can see, I've got this bridge. And anytime you can have a bridge or a narrow passage, you gotta use it like the Thermoply Pass. And today the mods frown upon us. And we're gonna use this bridge as a poor man's Thermoply. So no need to set them up. What I'm gonna do is bring them up to this bridge. And I'm pretty sure this is the water they can't cross. So they're like the Black Riders. A little bit of water keeps them at bay. Now they have to use my bridge, and I do not grant them access. You shall not pass. So what I like doing is, usually I use a Sun Tzu funnel trap, I call it. But at this time, I don't necessarily have the room for a funnel, but what I'm going to do is put archers on both sides. So if they try to use this bridge, they're going to get X'd up from both sides. Arrows are going to cross fire on them. Now, I got muskets and flintlocks and blunderbusses, so I like using musket line formations on an angle so people don't accidentally crossfire. You give them a free shot at the enemy. But as always, I like a shield wall up front, and then I'll put pole arms behind it or javelins. And I'm gonna I like going out on my own and doing a hit and run. Sometimes I bring my melee troops, sometimes I bring everybody. This time I only bring melee because I don't want my troops getting caught up on the bridge or tied up in their troops. So a couple crabs made it out of the bucket, but no big deal. I didn't quite fortify this bridge fully yet. Oops. Nuked a few of my own teammates. I gotta try watching that. I took off the icons for, what do you call it, immersion. So sometimes it can be hard to spot the enemies, and that's why I gotta use my eyes a little more in patience. So you can see them across the river here. They're gonna volley arrows back and forth. So what I'm gonna do is bring in that other line of archers. And we're going to double firepower from across the river here. And maybe we can force some of their troops into this wall here. Now it's completely fortified. And what it is a shield wall covered by a pike square. And this stuff will work no matter what type of troops you got. Whether it's crossbowmen or Fian champions or whatever. I have modded troops and I'm up against modded enemies, so things will look a little different, but at the end of the day, projectiles are projectiles, and no matter what mod you're playing, hopefully the troops are somewhat balanced, so using these techniques will always transfer over no matter like what game you're playing, really. So this isn't good. They got a ton of ranged cavalry. Got a brain fart there. Ranged cavalry is some of the most annoying troops to deal with. They try using that Mongolian hit and run technique where they circle you. But these guys can't circle us, so We got that going for us this time anyways. I'm bringing back what troops I have left here, and we're just gonna be patient. I got my own realistic battle mod, so arrows don't do as much damage, especially to higher tier troops. It'll take a lot of arrows to bring down a knight, as it should. But the fights last a little longer, so I got more time to be patient than you might in a regular vanilla battle. But at the same time, we have troops that are outputting a lot more damage as well. And what I do is I start low tier troops, and then at the end we have high tier troops, which gives me a late game advantage every time. Sometimes I can win with my low tier troops, which is better. They get the more experience, and then, you know, they'll eventually level up into high tier troops, which I use for emergencies. Anytime someone puts our back against the wall, we got the end game advantage where our high tier troops will be against their low tier. At the start there's a bit of a balance because me and my companions are overpowered, so we are in combination with the low tier troops. So I got like 40 super powered companions that are kind of like Diablo 2 characters. So these guys got a bunch of like Native American type archers. I don't know if they're Comanches or Lakotas. Ah, shit, I hate when I do that. There's a bunch of pikemen with their extended pikes. So they're not really even targeting me, so I'm just going around getting free shots. And I have to do my best to keep this shield wall alive, because if the shield wall falls, then my archers are in trouble. Using this technique here basically shuts down cavalry, especially their melee cavalry. These archers are a little bit annoying, but they're probably taking more damage than they're outputting. Oh, nice hit. So they're slowly trickling in for us, and that just makes this a slaughter. Ooh, clotheslined. There's some fair maidens. Got a lot of mods. Gotta watch out, my liege. So in this playthrough, we got over 100 mods, and it's kind of like a historical Age of Empires / mythical Diablo 2 mix and mash Bannerlord playthrough. It is still the same Bannerlord, but a lot of gameplay tweaks, some diplomacy tweaks, a lot of stuff to just make it more of a fun sandbox. There's a lot more opportunities. All the limitations have been removed. I got full control over my troops, my heroes, my companions, also the enemies who have also... I had to make them more powerful than my team to make things interesting, because what happens is I end up having a high tier army and these guys always have a mix. Sometimes there's higher tier complete armies, but usually they're medium low tier. So I had to make their high tiers really strong, really powerful to make things fun for myself. Setting up another musket line just for some free shots. Now I've sent my pikemen out on a charge. I've only got one more hit and I'm dead, so I gotta be sort of careful here. I'm gonna still put my shield away just for a second. I got change leader, so what happens if I go down is I control another one of my troops. But I don't want to do that, because if you get killed, you don't get to return for the following battle. And then you gotta leave it up to a simulation, or you gotta watch the battle, which I usually watch, because then you can control with the RTS camera, which in a lot of ways can be superior to controlling from a horse. The only difference is your character's not going to get 100 kills. But this battle's pretty much over by the looks of it. Anytime you got these funnels, use it to your advantage, use the layout. And it's not about just winning this one war. I got plenty of battles coming up after it. I'm outnumbered, outmatched. So every battle counts. And you don't want to lose a lot of troops, and you just want a few injuries. Each kill they get, you want to make them pay hundreds of troops for it. And that way you'll be able to keep your campaign going. And I mean the war campaign, not like the whole game, but I mean like when you take a bunch of troops, you leave your castle with 500 troops. You don't want to lose your 5th battle and get sent home or captured. You want to keep that. You want to keep that war party going till the end, till they get exhausted and give up. That's the best case scenario. It's a little easier with the power of the mods, but that's kind of the way I set this game up. Is it's supposed to be Bannerlord on steroids with superpowers and mythology woven into it, not just a medieval battle. Perseus got a bunch of kills. Hercules 100. Imperial Phalanx got the most kills out of all my troops. So I guess I'm too injured. Even though I survived, I'm not able to participate, so we're just gonna control this, and I'll show you what this kind of looks like here. I got in the description, it should have my mods and what version I'm using, and I'm playing on an older Bannerlord because I wanted to use some of these retro mods that never got updated. Got a little bit of an arrow box trap here, but the way things are set up, I believe they would just target my archers there. That would have looked really cool Sun Tzu arrow trap, but I'm gonna go with these squares because I don't want them going after a line of archers first. So what I'm going to be doing with this series is sort of like a storyline where I'm going to keep things in order, the order that I play. But I'm going to try to cut out some of the boring stuff and share with you the bigger battles, maybe how I win some of them. And along the way I'll talk about the mods and about how to set it up. It's a pretty easy process. You just got to start a new game. And then you start with My Little Warband and Custom Companion, then you can start editing your troops any way you want. Once you import some item mods, you can just use those like you would any other item in the game. And then once you install those items onto troops, now those items are in the loot pool. And when you win battles, you'll get to pick up those modded items, and then you can start finding lordly modded items and things like that. I'm keeping my cavalry moving. What I like doing is swiping them on the side. Like you see that small scatter of ants there. Sending a charge through that is perfect because they're not going to get caught up and they'll easily run through them all. I didn't do that this time because, well, the square will take care of it easy. But I've pulled my archer square back, and now all my archers are on the hill, raining down arrows from that one side. And then what I'm going to do is use this cavalry charge to break up formation and to squash any ants who've fallen out of line. So like this is what I mean here. We're going to swipe them from the side and the back because they're focused on our square. So I'm not going to lose too many cavalry, if any. They got caught up there a little bit. You see that? That's what you don't want. You want them to pass through with no resistance. At least in a perfect world. Sending your cavalry into a swarm where they get put into a static position is it's a waste of a horse. Well, this was a sweep. You seen, if we had just done like a charge, we would have got them all, but we would have had more casualties because when you just hit charge first, your cavalry gets there and, you know, it happens in waves. You want to use your 3 or 4 or 5 types of troops all as one unit. And once they're so scattered that they can't do nothing, then you can send out the full charge. I'm always selective with that. I don't use it until the very end. or for just bursts. Like sometimes I'll just send a shield wall on a charge, but quickly call them back in. Well, these guys are going to make us fight right to the very end. Look at this. This is like the Lion King. Alright, well that's pretty much all for this episode. I decided to make this one short, just one battle. So we were almost outnumbered 2-1, but let's see, we pretty much had no casualties in the first war. We had a few, and pretty much none this time. And so we're going to walk away without many casualties at all. We're going to be able to move on to the next war. And I believe what's coming up soon is a war against like 3 different teams, so things are going to get heated here pretty quick. So that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you got anything you want to see, let me know. I'm going to be working on more Bannerlord content. It seems as though that's more popular out of all the stuff I do, so I took a little break, and now I'm going to come back and try to make content every week. So let me know if you want any help starting your own campaign like this, or if you got any ideas, or if you see something you want to learn, just hit me up. As you can see, you get all the loot they drop here, which really makes it pretty fun. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.